The summer night was quiet in Oakville, Nebraska. Most folks were already asleep, but not Joe Carter. He was still in his field, checking on his corn one last time before bed. The night air felt good after a hot day. Joe looked up at the stars and took a deep breath. Then he saw something strange. One of the stars was moving. At first, he thought it was just a plane, but it was moving in odd ways. It got bigger and brighter as it came closer. What in the world? Joe whispered as the light slowed down above his cornfield. A blue beam shot down from the light, touching the ground about 50 yards away. The corn stalks bent away from it, making a perfect circle. Joe's heart beat fast, but he wasn't scared enough to run. He had lived in this town all his life and had never seen anything like this. The light from above dimmed, and Joe could now see it was some kind of ship. It was round with odd marks on its sides that glowed soft blue. The ship was about the size of his barn, hovering just 10 feet above the ground. A door opened on the bottom of the ship. Joe held his breath. A tall figure stepped into the blue beam and floated down to the ground. Joe's mouth fell open. The figure was not human. It stood at least 9 feet tall with skin that changed colors like oil on water. It had 4 long arms and a head shaped like a smooth diamond. Its eyes were large and completely black, but somehow kind-looking. The creature walked toward Joe with smooth steps. Joe's legs felt heavy, but he didn't run. Something told him this visitor meant no harm. "Hello, Joe Carter of Earth," the alien said in perfect English. Its voice was deep but gentle. "My name is Zixtar. I come from far beyond your solar system." Joe found his voice after a moment. "How do you know my name?" Zixtar's skin rippled with blue and purple colors. "I have been watching your planet for some time. Your kind interests me greatly." Are you going to take me away?" Joe asked, thinking of all the alien movies he had seen. Zixtar made a sound like quiet bells ringing. Joe realized it was laughing. "No, Joe Carter. I have come to give, not to take." One of Zixtar's 4 hands reached out, palm up. A small crystal sat there, glowing with a soft white light. "This is for you." Joe looked at the crystal. It seemed to pulse in time with his heartbeat. "What is it?" "A gift," Zixtar said simply. "One of many I will give to humans." Joe slowly reached out and took the crystal. The moment it touched his skin, it felt warm and sent a pleasant tingle up his arm. The crystal seemed to melt into his palm, becoming part of him. "Why me?" Joe asked, staring at his palm where the crystal had gone. "Because you showed curiosity instead of fear, because you stayed when others would run. These are qualities I value." Zixtar looked up at the night sky. "I have visited 100 worlds, Joe Carter. On each, I sought beings worthy of gifts. Your species is young, but you have something rare in this galaxy. You dream bigger than your limits." Joe felt different already. His back pain from years of farm work was gone. He felt stronger, more alert. "I must go now," Zixtar said, "but I will return. Others of your kind will receive gifts as well. Use yours wisely, Joe Carter." The alien turned and walked back to the blue beam. Before floating up, Zixtar looked back. "Your government agents will arrive soon. Tell them what happened. Show them what you become." As Zixtar disappeared into the ship, Joe looked at his palm again. The skin glowed faintly where the crystal had merged with him. He felt energy flowing through his body, making him feel 20 years younger. The ship rose silently into the night sky and vanished in seconds. Joe stood alone in his cornfield, forever changed. The first human to receive a gift from the galaxy's strongest alien. 3 hours later, when government trucks and men in suits arrived, they found Joe lifting the back end of his tractor with one hand, a smile of wonder on his face. 6 months passed since Joe Carter met Zixtar in his Nebraska cornfield. The world had changed. At first, many people did not believe Joe's story. But when they saw how he could lift a car with one hand and heal from cuts in minutes, they had to accept the truth. Aliens were real, and one had given a gift to a simple farmer. News teams camped outside Joe's farm for weeks. Scientists ran tests on him day and night. Government agents asked him the same questions over and over. Through it all, Joe stayed calm and told his story exactly as it happened. Then, on a Tuesday morning in October, it happened again. Not just in Nebraska, but all around the world. In Boston, Kate Murphy was walking to work when a bright light surrounded her. When it faded, Zixtor stood before her on the busy street. People screamed and ran, but Kate stayed still, her eyes wide with wonder. "Hello, Kate Murphy of Earth," Zixtor said, holding out a crystal similar to the one Joe had received. "This is for you." When Kate took the crystal, it melted into her skin, just like Joe's had. By that evening, she discovered she could speak and understand any language. Words in Chinese, Russian, and even ancient Latin flowed from her mouth as easily as English. On the same day in Chicago, firefighter Larry Brown was battling a blaze when Zixtor appeared beside him in the burning building. "Your courage deserves a gift," the alien said, offering a crystal. After receiving it, Larry found he could walk through fire without being harmed. He saved 12 people from the burning building that day. In a small village in Kenya, teacher Amara Okafor was given the ability to see in complete darkness. In Tokyo, cook Hiro Tanaka received the gift of never needing to sleep. In Rio de Janeiro, street cleaner Pedro Santos gained the power to purify water with a touch. By sunset, nearly 100 people around the world had met Zixtor and received gifts. Each gift was different, suited to the person who received it. The world's leaders met in an emergency session at the United Nations. Some were angry, claiming their countries had been invaded. Others were afraid, thinking this might be the first step in an alien attack. A few were excited about the possibilities these gifts might bring. During their meeting, the lights dimmed. Zixtor appeared in the center of the room, all 9 feet of him glowing softly. "Leaders of Earth," he said, his voice calm but powerful, "I have come to explain my actions." The room fell silent. Even those who had been shouting moments before now listened carefully. "I am Zixtor, last of the Architect Guardians. For 10,000 years, I have traveled this galaxy seeking species worthy of gifts. Today, I have chosen humans." A brave representative asked, "Why us? What makes humans special?" Zixtor's skin shifted to a deep blue color. "In all my travels, I have found that most species, when given power, use it only as they have seen others use it before. But humans are different. You imagine new ways to use what you are given. You dream beyond your limits." He raised all 4 of his hands, and images appeared in the air around him. Pictures of the gifted humans already using their new abilities to help others. "The gifts I give are seeds," Zixtor continued. "They will grow differently in each person based on their heart and choices. Those who use them selfishly will find their gifts fade. Those who use them wisely will discover new abilities over time." The room burst into questions, but Zixtor raised a hand for silence. "This is just the beginning. More gifts will come. How you respond as a species will determine your place in the galaxy." With those words, he vanished. That night, millions watched the news as reporters tracked down the gifted ones. Some embraced their new fame. Others hid from attention. But all of them knew that humanity had changed forever. And somewhere among the stars, Zixtor watched, hoping humans would prove worthy of his gifts. 1 year after Joe Carter received the first gift, Earth had changed in big ways. Over 500 people now had gifts from Zixtor. Some used their powers to fight crime. Others helped cure diseases or cleaned polluted rivers. A few even helped grow food in places where nothing had grown before. Most people loved the gifted ones, but some were afraid or jealous. A group called Pure Earth started saying that humans should not accept alien gifts. They held protests and made angry speeches. Still, life on Earth was better than before. Then everything changed again. On a clear Monday morning, strange ships appeared in the sky. They were not like Zixtor's smooth round ship. These were sharp and angular, like knives cutting through the clouds. 12 ships positioned themselves around Earth, just beyond the moon. A message came to every TV, radio, and phone on the planet at the same time. "People of Earth," said a cold, clicking voice, "I am Keelvorn of the Torren Collective. Your world has been corrupted by forbidden technology. The criminal Zixtar has violated galactic law by interfering with your natural development. Surrender all gifted humans to us within 10 of your days, or face consequences." The message ended. People panicked. World leaders argued about what to do. Military forces around the world went on high alert, though everyone knew Earth's weapons would be useless against aliens who could cross the stars. 3 days later, as the United Nations held an emergency meeting, Zixtar appeared again. But this time, he looked tired. His normally bright skin was dull gray. "I must tell you the truth now," he said to the gathered leaders. "I am not just a traveler. I am the last of the Architect Guardians, an ancient race that once helped young species grow and join the galactic community." Zixtar created an image in the air, showing hundreds of planets with different alien species. "Long ago, my people believed that all intelligent life deserved the chance to reach its full potential. We shared knowledge and gifts freely." The image changed to show planets burning, ships fighting in space. But other powerful species grew afraid of competition. They destroyed my people in a great war and created new laws forbidding the sharing of advanced knowledge with young races like yours. "These aliens," a woman asked, pointing to the sky where the ships waited, "they want to keep us weak." "Yes," Zixtar said simply. "The Torren Collective and others like them have kept thousands of species trapped on their home planets for millennia. They only allow advancement on their schedule, ensuring no one ever challenges their power." "Then why help us?" asked another leader. "You've put us in danger." Zixtar's skin flickered with soft blue light. "Because humans have something special. In all my travels, I have never seen a species with such imagination and adaptability. The gifts I gave you are not just powers. They are seeds of potential that exist within all of you naturally." He looked around the room. "The Torrens do not fear the gifts themselves. They fear what humans might become if allowed to grow freely." A young woman named Ian Hall stood up. She had received the gift of seeing truth and lies as different colors around people when they spoke. Everyone trusted her judgment. "Zixtar is telling the truth," she said after studying the alien carefully. "But he's hiding something too." Zixtar nodded slowly. "Yes. There is more. These gifts were never meant to be permanent advantages. They are keys that unlock what already exists inside you. As more humans receive gifts, something unexpected is happening. The gifts are becoming part of your collective DNA. Future generations will be born with these abilities naturally." The room fell silent as people understood what this meant. Humans were changing as a species, becoming something new. "The Torrens know this," Zixtar said. "That is why they have come. Your choices in the next few days will determine humanity's future among the stars." As the Torren ships waited in space, Earth faced a hard choice. Some countries wanted to fight. Others thought about giving up the gifted people. Most were just scared. During this time, the gifted humans gathered in a small town called Hope Valley. Joe Carter, the first to receive a gift, called them together. "We need to decide what to do," Joe said to the crowd of 500 gifted people. "The world is in danger because of us." Kate Murphy, who could speak all languages, stood up. "Not because of us. Because aliens like the Torrens want to control everyone." The meeting went on for hours. Some wanted to give themselves up to save Earth. Others wanted to use their gifts to fight back. No one knew what the right answer was. Then San Foster walked to the front of the room. San was a quiet man who had received the gift of seeing possible futures. He had not spoken much before, but now everyone listened. "I've seen what could happen," he said in a soft voice. "If we surrender, the Torrens will take our gifts, but they won't leave Earth alone. They'll make sure humans never reach the stars." He closed his eyes. If we fight with normal weapons, millions will die. The Torrens have destroyed whole planets before. The room was silent. The situation seemed hopeless. But Sam continued, opening his eyes. I've seen another path. Our gifts are stronger when we work together. And they grow when we use them for good reasons, not selfish ones. Another gifted person, Lisa Chen, who could heal others with a touch, spoke up. That's true. My gift gets stronger every time I help someone without asking for anything in return. Others shared similar stories. When they used their gifts to help people, the gifts grew stronger. When they tried to use them for selfish reasons, the gifts weakened. Zixtar said our gifts respond to our intentions. Joe remembered. What if that's the key? While the gifted people talked, Zixtar appeared among them. He looked weaker than before, his skin almost gray. The Torrens have ways to block my power, he explained. I cannot stay long. But I must tell you something important. The gifts I gave you were never just abilities. They are seeds that can grow in unexpected ways when joined together. He looked around the room. Alone, you are strong. Together, you might be strong enough to show the Torrens that humans deserve respect. Sam Foster nodded. I've seen it. If we join our gifts with pure intentions, something new happens. Zixtar smiled weakly. Yes, this is why I chose humans. Other species see power as something to keep for themselves. Humans naturally want to share and connect. What should we do? Joe asked. Go to an open place where the Torrens can see you, Zixtar said. Join hands and focus on why you want to protect Earth. Not out of hate for the Torrens, but out of love for your world and its future. The gifts will do the rest. With those words, Zixtar vanished again. The next day, all 500 gifted humans gathered in the middle of a large field. News cameras filmed them as they stood in a huge circle, holding hands. Remember, Joe called out, think about protecting Earth because we love it, not because we hate the aliens. As they closed their eyes and focused, something amazing happened. The crystal marks on their hands began to glow. The light spread up their arms and across their bodies until each person shone like a star. From space, the Torrens watched as a perfect circle of light formed on Earth's surface. Their instruments went crazy, unable to measure the energy coming from the human circle. Then, as one, the gifted humans opened their eyes. They all glowed with the same blue-white light as Zixtar's ship. And for the first time, in its long history, the mighty Torren collective felt afraid of what humans might become. The light from the joined gifted humans shot up into the sky like a beacon. It passed through the atmosphere and reached into space, touching each of the 12 Torren ships. For a moment, everything was still. Then 3 of the alien ships backed away, moving to a safer distance. On the main Torren ship, Commander Keelvorn watched with his 4 eyes blinking rapidly. He had never seen anything like this. His science officer, a tall, thin alien with pale blue skin, looked worried. The humans have joined their gifts, the science officer said. This should not be possible. Zixtar's gifts were designed to work only for individuals. Keelvorn made a sharp clicking sound with his mouthparts. Architect Guardian technology always had unexpected features. That's why they were so dangerous. Back on Earth, the gifted humans slowly lowered their hands. The light faded, but they all felt different. Somehow, they could sense each other's thoughts and feelings, even when they weren't touching. Joe Carter spoke first. I think we just sent them a message. Yes, Kate Murphy agreed. We showed them we aren't afraid. The next day, Keelvorn's face appeared on screens all over Earth. His alien features looked harsh and angry. People of Earth, he said, his voice cold. Your display changes nothing. We now give you our final terms. In 5 days, you will deliver all gifted humans and the criminal Zixtar to our ships. If you refuse, we will place your planet under permanent quarantine. The image changed to show a thin bubble forming around a planet. Our energy shield will cut off all access to space. Earth will be trapped forever. You will never join the galactic community. You will never leave your solar system. Your species will live and die on one small world." The message ended. People everywhere were afraid. Even some gifted humans wondered if they should give themselves up to save Earth's future. That night, as the gifted ones met again to decide what to do, Zixtar appeared one more time. He looked even weaker than before. "The Torrens are using their technology to drain my energy," he explained. "I don't have much time left." "What should we do?" Sam Foster asked. "If we fight, they'll trap Earth forever." Zixtar's skin flickered weakly. "There is one more thing you can try, something that has never been done before." He explained that the gifts were not just powers but pieces of ancient knowledge. When the gifted humans had joined together, they had started to unlock this knowledge. "My people, the Architect Guardians, created a network that spans the galaxy," Zixtar said. "It was meant to connect all intelligent species together. The Torrens and others shut it down after they destroyed my people, but it still exists." Lisa Chen stepped forward. "How do we use this network?" "Join together again," Zixtar said. "But this time, I will join with you. It will use the last of my energy, but it might be enough to reach the network and activate it again." "What will happen if we do?" Joe asked. "I don't know exactly," Zixtar admitted. "No species has ever done this before. But it will show the galaxy that humans are ready to be part of something bigger than themselves." After Zixtar left, the gifted humans talked long into the night. Some were scared to try something so unknown. Others were excited. By morning, they had made their decision. On the fourth day, all the gifted humans gathered again in the same field. This time, Zixtar stood in the center of their circle, his tall form now bent and weak. "Remember," he said as they all joined hands, "focus on connection, not conflict. Think about reaching out to all life in the galaxy." As they closed their eyes and focused, the light came again. But this time, it was different. Instead of just blue-white, it shimmered with all colors of the rainbow. In space, the Torren ship's sensors detected energy readings unlike anything they had ever seen before. Something big was about to happen. The colorful light grew stronger as the gifted humans and Zixtar focused together. It rose into the sky like a giant rainbow pillar. People all over Earth could see it, no matter where they were. Some watched from their windows. Others stood outside with their faces turned up to the light. In the center of the circle, Zixtar began to change. His solid body started to break apart into thousands of tiny lights. These lights moved among the humans, touching each person gently. "He's giving us the last of his energy," Kate Murphy whispered as a light passed through her. Joe Carter felt tears on his face. "He's sacrificing himself for us." As the last of Zixtar's form dissolved into light, something strange happened. Every gifted human suddenly saw images in their mind. They saw stars and planets they had never seen before. They heard voices speaking in languages no human had ever heard. They felt the presence of thousands of different alien minds. "The network," Sam Foster said in wonder. "We're connecting to it." The rainbow light reached even further into space, past the Torren ships, past the moon, past Mars, stretching out toward distant stars. And somehow, through the network, those stars answered back. On the main Torren ship, alarms were going off everywhere. Commander Keelvorn watched in shock as his screen showed thousands of signals coming from all over the galaxy. "What is happening?" he demanded. His science officer looked pale. "The Architect Guardian network is reactivating. It's been dormant for 10,000 years, but now it's waking up." "Shut it down," Keelvorn ordered. "We can't," the science officer said. "The network was built to connect all intelligent life. It can't be controlled by any one species. That's why our ancestors tried to destroy it." Back on Earth, the gifted humans were experiencing something amazing. Through the network, they could feel the thoughts and feelings of alien races from all over the galaxy. Some were like the Torrens, cold and controlled. Others were curious and kind. All of them were suddenly aware of humanity for the first time. In the middle of this connection, Joe Carter had a special vision. He saw Zixtar as he had been long ago, strong and proud, standing with others of his kind. They were creating the network, building it to last forever. Now you understand, Zixtar's voice said in Joe's mind. This is why I chose humans. Your kind naturally wants to connect, to share, to grow together. Other species forgot how to do this long ago. The rainbow light continued for an hour. When it finally faded, the gifted humans slowly opened their eyes. They felt changed. Their gifts remained, but now they understood them better. Lisa Chen looked at her hands. I don't just heal bodies anymore. I can help heal minds too. Sam Foster nodded. And I don't just see possible futures. I can help guide people toward better ones. All around the circle, people discovered their gifts had grown in new ways. But more importantly, they all knew they weren't alone in the universe anymore. In space, the Torren ships were receiving messages from across the galaxy. Other alien races had felt the network activate. Many were angry at the Torrens for hiding the existence of the network. Some were already sending ships to Earth to meet these humans who had done the impossible. Commander Keelvorn knew his mission had failed. The quarantine would not work now. Too many eyes were watching. Too many species wanted to know more about humans. Prepare to withdraw, he ordered his fleet. As the Torren ships turned away from Earth, a new message appeared on screens around the world. It came from thousands of different alien species at once, all speaking through the network Zixtar had helped humanity activate. People of Earth, we welcome you to the galactic community. The gifted humans smiled. Zixtar was gone, but his final gift had been the greatest of all, a place for humanity among the stars. 5 years passed since the day Earth joined the galactic community. The world had changed in ways no one could have imagined before. Alien ships now visited Earth regularly. Some came to trade goods and knowledge. Others came to learn about human culture. A few even brought their own versions of music and art to share. The first human ships were being built with help from friendly alien species. Soon, people from Earth would visit other worlds for the first time. Joe Carter, now older and wiser, lived in a small house near the spot where he had first met Zixtar. The land around his old farm had become a park called First Contact Gardens. People from all over Earth and beyond came to see where humanity's journey to the stars had begun. One quiet evening, as Joe sat on his porch watching the sunset, a young alien visitor approached. She looked almost human except for her purple skin and silver eyes. "Are you Joe Carter?" she asked in perfect English, the first human to receive a gift. Joe smiled and nodded. "That's me. Would you like to sit?" The alien sat in the chair next to him. "My name is Lyra. I come from a world called Viridia. I studied the story of Zixtar and his gifts many times." "It's a good story," Joe said. "There's one thing I don't understand," Lyra said. "Why did Zixtar choose humans specifically? There are older species in the galaxy, some with more advanced technology. Why you?" Joe was quiet for a moment, looking at the palm of his hand where the crystal had merged with him years ago. The mark was still there, glowing softly in the evening light. "Zixtar told me something at the end, when we connected through the network," Joe finally said. "Something I've thought about a lot since then." He turned to face Lyra. In the culture of the Architect Guardians, gifts were sacred. They believed that giving something without expecting anything in return was the purest form of connection between beings. Joe pointed to the stars that were beginning to appear in the darkening sky. Zixtar traveled to thousands of worlds over thousands of years. He studied all kinds of intelligent species, but he found something unique about humans. "What was that?" Lyra asked. "We give gifts too," Joe said simply. "Not just objects, but pieces of ourselves. We write songs for each other. We make art. We share knowledge. We help strangers without asking for payment. And most importantly, We do these things not just because they're useful, but because giving makes us happy. Joe touched the glowing mark on his palm. Other species saw gifts as trades or debts. They always calculated what they would get in return. But humans understood what Six Stars people believed, that true gifts are given freely, with hope but without expectation. Lyra considered this. So he chose humans because you already understood the philosophy of his people. I think so. Joe nodded. And there was something else. When other species received power, they used it in ways they had seen before. But humans dream. We imagine new possibilities. Joe stood up and looked at the now starry sky. Zixtar didn't just give us gifts to make us stronger. He gave us gifts because we were the species most likely to use them in ways even he couldn't imagine. As if on cue, a shooting star crossed the night sky. His people are gone, Joe said softly. But through us, their way of seeing the universe lives on. That's why, even now, the gifts continue to spread and change. He smiled at Lyra. The greatest gift wasn't the powers he gave us. It was the chance to show the galaxy a different way of being. One where connection matters more than control, and where giving freely is the strongest power of all. Lyra nodded slowly, understanding at last why the galaxy's strongest alien had chosen humans for his most precious gifts. Asterisk, the end asterisk.